Come in for a scrying today. Let's see what the shapes and symbols have to say. Inkblot, reading, scrying, and tarot with Steph. Hello, my name is Steph. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. Come on in. We're going to drop some ink on this black paper with white ink. We're going to wander into the other side, subconscious spirit message. So if you're interested for some divination inspiration, come on in, have a seat. We'll also add on some tarot and oracle, and we have ghost tube SEER kicking today. So no audio additions, but we do have, in the event of any visual inspirations to come through, we welcome that from the afterlife. And before we dig in, I want to thank you for your time, attention, and awareness. As you know, your perspective and presence is powerful, and your like, share, subscribes, your views is so meaningful. So gratitude for you being you. When you're ready, let's dig in. Let's drop some ink and divine. If you're new here, just a reminder, or as a knowing, we're just creating a portal to perceive and receive in, less worrying about making a masterpiece. And totally comment below what you see, sense, or feel. Like your insights do expand the experience, and we all become the readers and the oracles. Or you can drop an emoji. So the other side for myself, while typically a spirit message that we, very commonly know it as, is also the other side of our mind, our heart, the here, us here, and hereafter. So please do receive or release freely. But I'm always loving your comments. I love to read through them. I gain so much, so I hope you guys do as well. All right, when you're ready, Priest of Creation. If you're opening up with me, taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of those here and the hereafter, may we all meet a message with meaning. All right. My nose has suddenly got really, really itchy. And we have ghost tube SEER kicking there. All right. You know the drill. If you decide to take a screenshot, personal use only. Thank you for respecting the art, creation, creatorship, which actually now that makes a little bit more sense. That's hilarious. And we've got, it looks like, I'm seeing like a building here. And I don't know if you've ever seen the show Severance, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Why does that feel? Okay. Let's dig in. So I'm seeing down here kind of like these hands like, Where are we going to go? Okay, so there's an angel in here. This angel is moving like wind. This has been coming through a lot, so if that message means anything to anyone, I'm moving like the wind. There's also somebody over here. They are in the afterlife, absolutely. Okay, so they have a dog with them. Yeah, or maybe there's a pet that recently passed. It's one of the tethers, so whether it was the person or the pet, and they are like so happy to see each other. It's adorable. Now there's still a connection because I'm following a leash to a person still incarnate in density land. So I think they just want to let you know that they're together. And if that message is just for one, thank you for holding space for that message to be received. But I'm also in the subconscious space. So if I can wander down the other rabbit hole, something that I'm loyal to, the head in the hand, and there's this wrought iron fence, like one of those wrought iron fences, but it's in the shapes of hearts. And so how it has that decor about it. Oh, my nose is so itchy. And it's kind of like following that structure between the head and the hand. I'm seeing a mouse over here. The mouse is looking to eat, I think, a piece of cheese. Okay, so it's not a mouse. It's possibly, it's a different dog because the other one was larger. This is a different dog, and I'm having fun. And I'm playing with like you, or you might actually have somebody here have a small dog or smaller breed of a dog that sees orbs, that sees spirit kind of like floating around the space. And it's kind of whether they look at it, but I see them playing with it. So it's somebody familiar enough or like a child of the land or somewhere in the vicinity of you that visits this dog, your dog, actually, like your dog. It's very playful and it's very, very fun. There's also something about walking the dog. This walking the dog thing is very curious. Because I feel like the dog, whether you're walking your dog, any size breed, nothing specific's coming through. I'm actually, if I'm being honest with you, trying to decide if there's so many dogs in here, so if the dog symbol means anything to anyone, is in spirit or not, because I think like that hive mind, if I may, or like this the bigger breed, of dogs and of canine energy, while they are working with us, IUE me here, they are also leashed to a spirit, and I mean that in the most positive way. It's like a guide dog, and your spirit guide or a guide in some area that you might be working in subconsciously is also attached to another entity. So it's almost like they're doing the work on behalf, not the work of, but they just follow your scent, and they also know the scent of this spirit. I'm sorry if this is all over the place. It is what it is. Hopefully you can get the gist in there of what like the beauty is of this. And so it's kind of like they can track and help guide you, as well as, we as humans might think that we're the leader and do as I say and discipline and all that kind of great stuff. There's also this, that they have another energy that they also listen to. But there's so much loyalty here, so I feel like whatever you might be attached to in the mind and the actions of the head, there's you're very, very loyal to. I got a note here, as we're definitely in the subconscious spirit realm, is that there is somebody in the hereafter that is here with you, and the message is that it's like we're still connected, and they keep sending you. I just keep seeing this like umbilical cord of, I'm going to call it love, because that's how it's kind of feeling within me. And I'm not going to lie, like I feel like I need it. So if you're grieving or you're having moments of despair, whether it's a spirit guide or a passed on loved one, the sensation of like receiving it in the most blissful, beautiful way. I don't know. Like that love is so loyal. That love is so loyal. And the message I'm clearly feeling is, my love for you is loyal beyond time, space, beyond the constructs of pain, pleasure, memories, this life, that life. Like, I know that's vast. I'm not trying to make it sound, that, okay, so I'm seeing princess in the P, so something about that. But if you want to take a moment to feel that, and if you're holding space for others, you can feel that as well. There's an image coming through here, so I just want to note that this gentleman here with the cigar. Oh, and you know what it kind of reminds me of? Which is, if you've ever seen the show Mobland, that's what it kind of reminds me of. But loyal, the family. I'm being totally stereotypical, so, bear with me there. But so I moved my mic, and now I feel like I gotta move around this. So there might be something, could also be a grandfather spirit coming through as this guide, as this angel. And I think that for one reason or another, they walk around with you when you're walking the dog or just walking. They're loyal. Allegory of metal, completion, money, begin, righteous, communication. If you want to take in the artistry, this is in the cave of ice. This is a regalness, and even wandering in with what GhostTube said there, or showed that, and there's like families, and again, I'm going to Mobland, but really I feel like you can depict, use your imagination to loyalty, love, and not necessarily in like such a criminal way, but maybe you do. Maybe you know exactly who and what that means, and that the lengths that this love will go through for you. I think that's the thing. There's a regalness. The allegory of metal might mean something to you, the number 36. I also want to note that so spatial. I'm just dropping cards here, so we'll go. Spatial is in the cave of winds, of the mind of the air element. Timeless, space, time, spirit, reality, temporal. Okay. So and compassionately, I'm just going to say here, grief is never gone, but it becomes bigger almost. So the moment that I'm feeling, I'm not saying that anyone here, I'm not trying to be uncompassionate, but it becomes more spacious so it can fill and have air like a fence. That's not a great way of saying that. It kind of envelops me. When you're acutely in grief, it can feel really, really tight and heavy. Whether this is a job, person, place, or thing, or a pet. And then as time, however we may want to receive that, grief is never gone. It's not about removing it, but it becomes like a light blanket or a white sheet hanging on a clothesline on a beautiful sunny day, and a tear can fall. Oh, it's going to make me cry. As we do a lot here. We scry and we cry. That's the feeling. Now for me, that's my sign. That also works with the wind and the sun. And I would see the sheet blowing in the wind, drying, changing from wet to dry, and working with the elements and allowing it to, like the fibers, to let the breeze go through. Almost like it dries the tears and the sweat and the things that we shed through that process. Whatever process this is for you. But it's okay. You take that sheet and you put it back on your bed, and you might have wonderful dreams. Cry in the pillow. But it feels spaciousness. It feels like spaciousness with spirit, while acknowledging the moments that we may have in reflection of. Yeah. I also want to note here that, thank you for that moment. How do I want to say that? Regal communications in reflection. So when you're reflecting subconsciously, wandering around in meditation, maybe even a walking meditation, and maybe that's a big thing right now, or you wander your mind like Wonderland, you're thinking about somebody you love. It's going to make me cry again. Oh my goodness. The sentiment is so sincere here, even communicating, whether it's with the spirit of the hereafter or the spirit here of your subconscious, right? It's like there's something sacred in a wrought iron fence. There's something worth protecting, but it's not solid. It's not solid, but there's definitely an air or an aura. And it's bringing me into a memory of when I was a kid. We used to go and do grave rubbings of really, really old graves. And in this graveyard, there's a witch's grave, or that was the lore anyway. So amongst this, old cemetery, then this one area had just one grave with a black wrought iron fence around it. No tombstone, nothing, no gravestone, no markings. You had to dig into the library to find out anything about it, as we did, because this is what teenage Steph did for good time. We did gravestone markings. So again, there's something about age, grandfather, grandness, but also this regalness. And in speaking of that witch's grave, water in the mind. Oh, she's gonna, okay, yeah, here we go. There could be something about a witch's wound as well. There is a little bit of there's big eyebrows here. It's switching on me. So these are the eyes. These are furrowed kind of brow, but I'm not really sure that that's actually meant to scare me. I think it's just like it's kind of like the wrought iron fence. It's bold. It's strong. But it's got the spiky things on top of it. And there's spiky things there. Do you know who I'm seeing is Peter Griffin from Family Guy. But if he was like angry almost. But why don't I actually feel anger? I see it, but I don't feel it. That's a curious thing to feel. Something about a high heel boot. Oh. Okay, so there's a woman. Feminine energy, male or female expressed, but feminine energy prominently stepping forward. Okay, compassion, thank you for holding space. If this message is for one, could also be, again, an archetype within ourselves and our feminine energy, like that witch's wound. Something's dead, and it is of a her. And there's something about that boot or shoe. I don't know if it was red rum per se. But I think that's also why, like, this energy's coming at me. It's supposed to be like a family man of sorts. And if I go back in history and back in time, if I may for a moment, to use the example of being like sacrificed or declared as something from what appears to be a family man based on whatever their rituals, culture, belief systems are. And I can see the anger at me for being me. I'm not sure why, though. Like, really looking at it, it makes no sense. The story doesn't change. The history doesn't change. But I think even in my awareness at that moment, I then had to choose how I was going to respond and react to such. There's a word here that I don't know what it is. And if you can maybe get a sense of what that verbalization would be, like, by all means, please feel well to comment below. I don't get it. Peter, pumpkin eater. Okay. Cave of Rivers. Yeah, it's even kind of back to the beginning in this. But it's almost like by acknowledging that, it angers them even more. Now, I also want to note that there's a potential in the subconscious space. There could be something reeling or working with a father archetype, not grand, father, closer to father, or whom may have been a father in a past life figure, and interacting with that masculine, feminine energy and how we have interacted with it, or have like core competencies or something along that lines. Father, daughter, and how that emotionally feels. And in this Cave of Hearth Fires, it just kind of feels like, again, when I was talking about the hands and the head, and now she's got her little bandana on, and it's blue. And I have to be careful what I say, because nothing makes sense. Everything becomes skewed. I shouldn't say everything that feels dramatic. You also might be very empathically inclined. And right now, they're also in a grieving moment. I feel like I've got like I don't know if it's like a head injury or bandage around my head while I'm healing. So I almost have like no time for it. There's no time for this anger that has really nothing to do with me. But I'm feeling I, you, we, me, place yourself forever. Thank you for holding space for others. It really has nothing to do with me, and yet I am the poster child of this. I also want to note, and speaking of poster child, there might be somebody, again, of feminine energy, male or female expressed, that was on a poster, like lost and found. And it could have been somebody in the family that you found out did something. It's going to make me cry again. Okay. Getting ready to wander into the Cave of Rivers and the Cave of Earth, and then we're going to flip this and go to the other side. So if you're part of the second or third tier, thank you so much for being you. Just letting you know, if you want to join us for an extended explore, you're more than welcome. Link in the description box and or the comment section if I remember, but if not, no pressure. Love you. Thank you. Okay. Oh my God, I almost closed out. Time eternal, time measured, Kairos and Chronos. And this is in the Cave of Rivers. And then in the Cave of Earth is 0, transcendence, malleability, and Earth. Look at the artistry on that card. You know I love me to read art first. And this is kind of like, if I can take the analogy of maybe witch's wound, past life, present, to father, daughter, or son, mother. It doesn't matter who the characters are expressed. It is specific energy elements within said ecosystems and expressions of existence that are coming through. Now, I feel like if you're here, there's a grandfather. This might be specific to you, that you can pinpoint that. To me, I feel guided by, I feel supported by this grandfather energy or this grand guide energy. Yes, thank you. I see you there. Teddy Ruxpin and like Bears in the Woods. And then I see these dragons in here in the negative space. Do you see the dragons? Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is also something else coming together. Something about maybe fae or fairy magic kind of. It's like small eye, big eye all at the same time. It's a very interesting feeling. I also think that poster child, there's somebody smaller in the hereafter that has crossed over. And they are becoming very, very big. You might also notice like teddy bears might be their sign or their symbol, or just anything along that lines. Favorite stuffy, something like that. Okay. But in the example of, let's say, father-daughter, masculine, feminine, but it does feel like it's embodied in two different energies, not necessarily within myself in this moment, but you would know better than I for you. It's like Kairos and Chronos. There's two different times, and I think this is it. Even if I was to wander into the witch's wound or wizard wound space, it's like trying to press one time frame, one line of thinking on another. There's no listening there. It's very irritating for me. And it's almost like by this angry energy coming at me, but like that's all it's doing is agitating my anger, which completely exists, IUE me. And that's what it brings out. And I'm just like, oh, I'm tired. I'm tired of it. With transcendence and malleability here on Earth, I feel like we're just like kind of wandering into, and I know this might be hard to hear at this point if you're in a very acute state or in a very frustrated state or angered state. But for you here now, this feels to me like right now in this moment, if for one moment, can I go back to somewhere in the beginning that we were talking about, that leash and cord, silver cord to your higher self, spirit, to this guide, to this pet or person you have in spirit that is sending me down heaven. And I'm not implying heaven is up and hell is down. Purgatory is where we hang out. I don't know. It's not my concern here. All I know is that this feels like it is effortless. Gravity allows it to float down and land upon like a feather falling from the sky. And that is kind of what soothes me. It's also feeling like the mother's milk of the Milky Way. It is filled with stars and celestial support. In this moment, right now. I hope this would serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. I'm going to head on over to the flip side. If I don't see you there, I will see you again next week or soon. Yeah. Saturday might do a snack size scry. So keep an eye out on the shorts, and I will see you again soon. So much. Let's get a little card, Easter egg card. Take us to the other side. Whew. That flew right out. Safe and happy travel. Protection from harm when journeying. Card 25.